Oh, folks, this may ruffle your feathers. Look at this. Are you sure it's not July? Because it sure feels like it outside. Heat advisories are in effect. Some places dealing with temperatures 30 degrees above average. We're going to let you know who is sweating it out today.
Next weekend's weather might be really different than what we're getting this weekend. Some big changes in the jet stream are coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
And stories just flocking out of South Carolina of survival. It's not just the humans that need rescuing, it's the piggies too, all members of the animal kingdom. We're going to tell you how they went whee all the way home to safety. That is absolutely one of my very favorite high-flying stories of the day.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you definitely have to dip your beak into that one. That is fantastic. Welcome to AMHQ Weekend. It is Sunday, October 11th. I'm Reynolds Wolf, got Kate Parker and Dr. Postel. Get so many subjects to talk about today.
Yeah, much colder air mass is coming into parts of the Northeast. For next weekend, there may even be some snowflakes. Yes, can you believe that, guys? Snowflakes next weekend.
Yeah, flocks of them all over the place. But first, look at this video. This is Kate. This is out of Washington State.
You know, there was no grilling of the chicken yesterday in Tacoma because the rain was coming down so hard that it ended up in this. Yeah, all the birds had to fly right off of that football field because that water came down in a hurry and it was torrential. But you know who I bet loved it? The ducks.
Yeah, you have to have webbed feet to deal with a situation like this. I mean, just waddling your way through that water would be next to impossible. In fact, I'd say it's absolutely dangerous. They had up to 3 inches of rain out there. Oh, certainly some tough times. And I'm telling you, if you're flying out there, even some tough flying conditions out there also.
Okay, but today, glorious. I mean, the ducks are going to be happy because it's not raining on them. They can enjoy their nice little paddles through the lake. You've got all kinds of perfect flying weather, unlike the turbulence that I went through on Friday. We'll just put it that way.
Absolutely. But, you know, folks, you can't be an ostrich. You can't keep your head stuck in the sand. You got to get out and enjoy the day. It's going to be pretty for parts of the central and southern plains, but let me tell you, very hot in many spots too, Kate.
I tell you what, if you have parrots and if you live, I mean, it's not an unreasonable thing. If you have a pet bird and you live up in the northern plains, you definitely need to keep them inside today, even if they have clipped wings, because just about anything's going to fly away. Very high winds in the northern plains today.
Oh, a lot of people be squawking about that, no doubt about it, but the call you're going to have for you, and I mean, you're going to be whistling like crazy. Look at Chicago with 76 degrees. Nashville's looking good with 76. Nice and cool and crisp for you in New York, but we may have the snowbirds. Well, they may be heading south because snow on the way for the Northeast.
Say it ain't snow.
Oh, I know. Exactly. Hey, take a look at Minneapolis right now. You might wake up and think, hey, it must be summer. Well, you're getting out of your early morning roost because it's going to be hot today. Yes, very, very warm times. In fact, we can expect temperatures to be well above normal. High temperatures going up to around 83 degrees or so. And those kind of temperatures, well, they're going to be in line with what you'd have in late August, maybe even late July. Definitely heavy clocking there, no question about it. All right, let's take a look at the forecast that we have for you. Records and high, records that are in jeopardy from International Falls. If you were flying southward, flocking your way, say, to Duluth or let's see, even St. Cloud, we're talking some hot eggs out there in terms of your temperatures. When you look at the reason why, well, the reason why is because this big nest of high pressure, what we can expect is a tilted ridge, and that's going to draw your air out of the desert southwest. And as it migrates, as it makes its way up into the northern plains and then builds its way into the upper Midwest, that warm air is going to come with it. It really will. In fact, many places are going to be incubating anywhere from 10 to even 30 degrees above average for this time of year. Oh, man, it's going to be warm times. You're going to want to just stay right at home, and some of you maybe, and just try to stay in the cool. But many of you are going to take advantage of it because you know winter's right around the corner. Look at this. From Minneapolis to Duluth, we're well above average. In fact, 23 degrees above average in Duluth, so definitely some changes in the making. Some of the, well, record highs, well, look at this. We might have to pluck a couple of your forecast highs and break some records in places like Fargo, Omaha, Nebraska, and Lincoln, and even into Des Moines. The thing that's interesting about Omaha, 1956. That's when that record was set of 87 degrees, and we may surpass that with 88 for today. Now take a look at this. In Chicago, wow, you're going to be all aflutter with temperatures going with 77 degrees, but then, wow, for tomorrow going to 73, and then you're going to drop down. You're going to make a nice soft landing with 63 degrees, where you should be this time of year, average high of 64. Kate, let's send it right back to you.
I got to tell you what, if those geese are starting to head south, they are safe a little bit longer in Austin, Texas, because those down feather comforters staying off the beds quite a bit longer now. 66 degrees right now in Austin. It feels like summertime. So you still got the ducks enjoying their nice little swims. You know what? There's a great spot in Austin where you have beautiful swans as well. And even peacocks. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about if you're from there. Peacocks in Austin. They exist. Anyways, enjoying the forecast today because it still feels like summer. You're flirting with those record highs. Cape Mabry, your record? 1926, 96 degrees. Your forecast today going to hit that. The same for Austin. And Austin City Limits is going on. You know, I actually enjoyed Austin City Limits. This is my little hint from me to you. Out on the Colorado River last year, surrounded by ducks, and you could hear the music. It's terrific. I would highly recommend it. 95 degrees. Just don't tell anybody else. That's just us. In Dallas, 15 degrees above average. So soak up that warmth, you know. In Memphis, 79 degrees. New Orleans, actually a little below average there. You are just crying out about it. Absolutely. In San Antonio, 95 degrees, the record 96. You're squawking about it in San Antonio because it is 94 degrees for a forecast high. Your old record, 90 degrees. I tell you what, birds of a feather flock together, and boy, do they across the southern plains. Just about everyone enjoying all that warmth. It is going to stay above average tomorrow as well, and we're going to carry that right over and fly on into Tuesday with lots of warmth as well. It's not until we get maybe into the next week that we start to see some of those changes, Reynolds.
You're right about that. You know, the heat really does alter behavior. In fact, people are flocking like hummingbirds to parts of the Pacific Coast of all the heat you had developing. Large crowds gathered at Venice Beach to jump in the waves. In hopes of cooling off in those temperatures, they soared to 99 degrees, soaring like a condor. Look at that. Officials say about 60 people in the area did suffer from heat exhaustion. 20 were hospitalized. Certainly some scary, scary time out there. Man, wow. We're talking some serious stuff. When you take a look at this flamingo pink that you have across much of the South Central area, that is the indicator of your heat, at least in terms of this chart. Camarillo had some temperatures. Good thing, but they went up to 108 degrees 2 days ago, which broke an all-time record high. Downtown yesterday, you had, let's see, 100 degrees there. Temperatures rising up and circling, going to about 102 degrees for parts of Long Beach. Now, what we can expect. Take a look at this. The highs yesterday, you had 99 degrees in Camarillo. That broke a record set back in 1994. And man, you just have a swan dive, not a big one, but a slight one going into the 90s, then eventually into the low 80s by the time Thursday comes calling. Let's send it back to you.
Yeah, so we're pecking our way through our forecast, right? Trying to get right to the bottom of everything in South Carolina. That floodwater finally receding. You may find things that didn't used to be there in your homes. It carries a very hefty price tag. We're going to see just how much we're starting to see that impact the economy when we come back.